तुम्हारा कौन है? कार्ड मिक्सर झाले काय चिंटू
Hearty welcome, Dr. Sanjay Prasad Sharma sir ji.
वेलकम डॉक्टर संजय प्रसाद शर्मा सर जी।
जी प्रणाम, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
सर आवाज येतोय?
आवाज येतोय का?
यस 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 येतोय। ठीक आहे सर,
हे बंद करून मग माझं
तुमचं बंद करून द्या। तसं मी इमर्जन्सी लॉग इन करतो, तर इथं जवळ थांबलो की वाजायचं, तर इथे काही प्रॉब्लेम आला म्हणून मला फक्त बाहेरचा
अशोक आहे ह्या खिडक्या समोर बंद करून दारे बंद करून टाकायचं, फक्त एकच खिडकीकडे चालू राहू दे. एकच ठेवा.
A very warm and hearty welcome to all the participants who have joined with us so far. We are going to start the webinar within 2 to 3 minutes. Again, welcome. It is my sincere request to all participants. Please keep your audios on mute mode so that speakers can be clearly audible. Dr. Bharat, sir. Shall we start, sir?
Yeah. Let's proceed. All dignitaries have joined. We can proceed.
Hello and good morning, everybody. All respected delegates, resource persons, or patrons, I heartily welcome you. At the very outset, I pay my sincere tribute to Rajmata, Rashtramata Jijau Ma Sahib and late Dr. Punjab Rao alias Bhau Sahib Deshmukh, the visionary founder president of Shri Shivaji Education Society Amravati and Karma Yogi Sant Gadge Baba. On behalf of organizing committee of this national webinar on creative writing, I welcome you all. Today we are very delighted to welcome you, such a brilliant galaxy of intellectuals and academicians, on the occasion of this national webinar on creative writing being organized by the Department of English, Jijamata Mahavidyalaya, Buldana, Maharashtra. Dear friends, our institution was established in 1956 and it has the honor of being one of the oldest multi-faculty colleges in Maharashtra. This college is being run by the second largest education society in Maharashtra, Shri Shivaji Education Society, Amravati, that was founded in 1932 by the late Dr. Punjab Rao alias Bhau Sahib Deshmukh, who was the first Union Minister for Agriculture and a great educationist, great agriculturalist, and a social reformer. Presently, the society, Shri Shivaji Education Society, is running 24 senior colleges, 54 junior colleges, and more than 75 middle schools, and so many other institutions like hostels, providing education in streams like arts, commerce, science, education, physical education, law, medicine, agriculture, engineering, technology, and so many other emerging fields of knowledge. We are really very proud and happy to be part of such a great institution and such a great education society. Here I must mention that the constant support and guidance of our chief patron, Honorable Shri Harshavardhan Ji Deshmukh Sahib, the president of Shri Shivaji Education Society, other honorable members of the management, and also the respected members of our college development committee, that we are able to organize such events. Their guidance and their support is a real source of inspiration and motivation for us. Today, we are very happy to have on this virtual platform such outstanding and well-known speakers as Dr. Suraj Prasad Sharma sir and Dr. Sumathi Maya madam. We are also very happy to have as inaugural guest Honorable Shri Hemantji Kalmek sir, Member of Executive Council, Shri Shivaji Education Society, Amravati. This webinar is being presided over by our Honorable Principal, Dr. Captain Prashant Kothe sir. We also have guests of honor, such outstanding personalities like Dr. Nilesh G. Gawande, Member of Management Council, Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University, Amravati. We have received a great cooperation and guidance from the members of our organizing committee, Dr. Avinash Ji Mohril sir, Dean, Faculty of Humanities, Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University, Amravati. Principal, Dr. Bashish Ji Chaube sir, Chairman, Board of Studies in English, Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University, Amravati. Friends, it is really an honor and pleasure on this occasion to have such distinguished speakers like Dr. Sanjay Prasad Sharma sir, who is Associate Professor at Mahamaya Government College, Prayagraj, UP, India. Another resource person today is Dr. Sumathi Maya madam, who is also Associate Professor at M.V. Muthaiya Government College, Dindigul, Tamil Nadu, India. She had been academic visitor at Salford University, Manchester, UK. So it is really very satisfying and encouraging to receive such an overwhelming response from the academic and literary fraternity, not only from all states of India, but also from abroad. We have received response from the participants belonging to Kenya, Oman, Dubai, Pakistan, and Philippines. So on behalf of the institution and the organizing committee, I welcome all of you. Again, hearty welcome. Here, I would like to invite Dr. Bharat Jadhav sir, the convener and head of the Department of English, for introduction and welcome, formal welcome of the guests and resource persons. Over to you, Dr. Bharat Jadhav sir. Sir, please unmute yourself. Yes, Dr. Bharat Jadhav sir.
Your voice is not audible, sir, please.
Bharat sir, the voice is not audible.
Yeah, now it is audible. Your voice is audible. Sir's voice is not audible.
Dr. Jadhav is not audible now.
Yeah.
I think there is some technical problem with him.
Subodh sir, Dr. Subodh sir voice is audible. Jadhav sir's voice is not audible.
I think there is some technical problem with Dr. Bharat Jadhav sir's audio. He will rejoin us within.
Yes,
Up
yes.
and
Let
minute.
us wait for him. Let us wait for a moment for him. No problem.
Yes, please.
Now, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible
Yes,
now.
sir. I restart my introductory remark.
Yes.
I'm thankful to my colleague Subodh sir. Good afternoon, all dignitaries, honorable dignitaries, and respected participants. Before I start my introductory remark, I must express my sincere gratitude to all esteemed participants from across India and abroad. Your spontaneous, overwhelming support has played the role of stimulus for us since we launched our flyer. Again, I extend a gracious and inclusive welcome to all of you from Buldana, the land of Ma Jizau Sahib. At the outset, I humbly pay tribute to Rashtramata Ma Jizau Sahib, Chhatrapati Shivarai, the great visionary, Krishi Ratna, first Agriculture Minister of India, founder president of Sri Shivaji Education Society, late Dr. Punjab Rao alias Bhau Sahib Deshmukh, and Sant Gadge Baba, who the mendicant saint and social reformer who lived in voluntary poverty and wandered to different villages promoting social justice and initiating reform related to sanitation. I gladly welcome for today's virtual dais our patron, Sri Harshavardhanji, alias Bhaiya Sahib Deshmukh, our president of Sri Shivaji Education Society. We have with us Honorable Chairman, the principal of our college, Dr. Prashant Ji Kote, the man of discipline. He has been taking various initiatives for all-round development of our college. Honorable Hemanji Karmek Sahib, Member Executive Council, Sri Shivaji Education Society Amravati. He is our guardian, guide, and mentor. Will be delivering for our inaugural function very soon. To illuminate us on the topic of creative writing, we have with us erudite, profound, and learned resource person, academic visitor to Stanford University, Dr. Sumati Maya, MV Government College, Dindigul, Tamil Nadu, and Dr. Sanjay Prasad Sharma, Mahamaya Government College, Dhanpur, Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh. Our motivators, series members, our advocate Baba Saheb Bonde, Vasant Raoji Chinsole, and V.T. Deshmukh. I genuinely welcome all these resource persons and our motivators for organizing this event, who extended their invaluable support. Our university authorities, the member of advisory committee, Dr. Nilesh Shah alias Balasaheb Gawande, member management council at GBU. Then we have with us Dr. Avinathji Moril sir, Dean Faculty of Humanities, Dr. Chobe sir, Chairman BOS English, Dr. A.L. Kulat sir, Principal and Senate Member at GBU Amravati, Dr. K.L. Khandare sir, and all other organizing committee members. I feel glad to extend you convivial welcome. Now let us come to the background of organizing this glorious event. I feel that all of us know something about creative writing, but I would like to go into history so that we should have a glimpse of creative writing, how it was introduced in universities. Following a reworking of university education in the post-war era, creative writing has progressively gained prominence in universities. In the UK, The first formal creative writing program was established as a Master of Arts degree at the University of East Anglia in 1970 by the novelist Malcolm Bradbury and Angus Wilson. With the beginning of formal creative writing program, I quote from Wikipedia, for the first time in the sad and enchanting history of literature, for the first time in the glorious and dreadful history of the world, the writer was welcome in the academic place. If mind could be honored there, why not the imagination? And since then, various courses on writing skills have been designed by prominent universities all over the world. Just scribbling many pages doesn't mean we have fulfilled criteria for being a good writer. I would like to again quote Don Marquis. Now see what he says. Writing a book or poetry is like dropping a rose petal down the Grand Canyon and waiting for echoes. This is how we can understand how difficult it is to write a book or poetry or to engage yourself in creative writing. We know well that creative writing, like any art form, requires compassion, contemplation, and curiosity. Writers preserve the world. Writers preserve the world as they observe it in fiction, stories, or poetry, or any form of literature. And they imagine a better world. They imagine a better world by creating it in their works. The importance of creative writing lies in its ability to describe the world through an honest and unfiltered lens. Anyone who engages in creative writing helps us to explore the human experiences, share new ideas, and advocate for a better society. Whatever you write, your stories for your or share them with a wide audience, creating writing makes the world a better place. G.B. Shaw says, find enough clever things to say. Find enough clever things to say and you are a prime minister. Write them down and you are a Shakespeare. Creative writing improves self-expression. You engage the same parts of your brains that are active in everyday writing and speaking. When you conceive any plot, character, situation, or idea in your mind, it is difficult process to pen it down as exactly as you imagine or think. Therefore, we find very good oral narrators around us, but very few among them are able to depict or narrate it on paper. Now, I would like to fetch your attention what I'm narrating here. Due to lack of skill required for creative writing, many characters' stories suffocate in the mind of writers for delivery. Sometimes they die without breathing on paper. Therefore, I think to provide them breath and to make them live with imaginative development in script is one of the major objectives behind organizing this webinar. And you know well that to explore this topic, we have with us a very two eminent, profound and learned speakers. I would like to introduce them in brief so that we can proceed for inaugural function. Now, first session, Honorable Dr. Sanjay Prasad Sharma is going to conduct. He will explore the topic, and I have heard him many times. He is a good composer. He recites his own poems, and therefore his academic performance or academic resume is also very potent. So he has been working for last 23 years in education field. His professional experience is in English language teaching, phonetics and linguistics, Indian writing in English and Indian folk literature. Especially he has published near about 40 research journal papers in UGC peer-reviewed journals at international and national level. He has been paper setter for Uttar Pradesh Public Service Commission for last many years, and here he has been contributing very significantly to the state electoral activities too, because he has been awarded by the government of governor of Uttar Pradesh and various bodies for his significant contribution in spreading the message of voting, or his movement to increase voters' awareness. And prominently, he is subject expert for more than 10 universities. I would like to mention some of the university names. The first, Raju Bhaiya State University, Prayagraj, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University, Agra, Chhatrapati Shahuji Maharaj University, Kanpur, then Chaudhry Charan Singh University, Meerut, Maharaj Jyotiba Phule University, Bareilly, DDU, Gorakhpur. All these and more universities he has been representing and extending his invaluable contribution for paper setter as well as subject expert. And I know well that during his delivery you will find that this bio or little thing, surely you will experience it very soon. The next speaker we have with us Dr. Sumati Maya. Now, first of all, very prominent thing about her is that she was sent as an academic visitor for the study abroad program to Salford University, UK by Tamil Nadu government, Tamil Nadu State Council for Higher Education in collaboration with British Council UK. Therefore, she has a lot of experience in phonetics as well as other areas of literature where she has contributed abroad. She has also been extending her services as paper setter for UP Public Service Commission and Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission. Therefore, she has also been extending her duties to state government and various competitive exams, setting paper. She is also a recipient of various awards. Prominently, I would like to mention here that she is recipient of Women Researcher Award in ISRI conference on contemporarity of language and literature in the robotized millennium. She is also recipient of first speaker award instituted by British Council UK in the first international conference. She has also received awards from Madras of Temple, Lions Club of Madras of Temple Bay, Par Excellence Award and Beyond the Call of Duty Award. Therefore, there are so many awards she is a recipient of so many awards. She has also been extending her services as a research guide, a research supervisor in many universities. She has completed one major minor research project and opening on 5 awarded degree and 5 have been still working under her supervision. Therefore, again, I will like to say that during her speech or deliverance, you will find that this biodata or my explanation about all these personalities will surely be beyond that. You will experience beyond that, surely, I assure you. And before inaugural speech, I would like to sum up with the quotation of Benjamin Franklin. I quote, "I have thought that wildflowers might be the alphabets of angels. I have thought that wildflowers might be the alphabets of angels, whereby they write on hills and fields mysterious truths, which it is not given our fallen nature to understand. Benjamin Franklin. Unquote. Thank you very much. And again, I welcome genially all participants, all dignitaries, and hope you will enjoy this session. You will surely find that these 2-3 hours will not more, you will not feel it more than half an hour. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Bharat Jadhav, sir, has clearly mentioned the motive of this webinar. We are now living in a very different and unique phase of life. Yes, there had been diseases, there had been epidemics, there had been wars and many natural calamities in history also. But today, this webinar is being organized against the backdrop of COVID-19 pandemic, and we are witnessing and experiencing the devastating effects of this pandemic. But they were also in the past. Had it not been so, why? What would have made John Keats to say that he was half in love with his school days, and Matthew Arnold to imagine that the world at that time also was like a darkling plain swept with confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies clash by night? Or even W.B. Yeats also in his poem says that he foresees that the future years had come dancing to frenzied drums. So the situations that we are facing, today had there been in history also. Today, the motive of this webinar is to explore the possibilities of creativity, the fields of creativity, and to motivate by giving some inspiration, some ideas to the participants. Here we have very distinguished and those people who really possess authority to talk over this topic as resource persons. So to inaugurate this online webinar on creative writing, I invite our Honorable Shri Hemantji Kalmek sir, the member of Executive Council of Shri Shivaji Education Society, Amravati. Over to you, sir. Respected Shri Hemantji Kalmek sir.
Very good afternoon to one and all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You are audible.
Thank you. Thank you. Very good afternoon to one and all. I take this opportunity to bow down before the greatness of Rashtramata Jijabai, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and founder of Shri Shivaji Education Society, Dr. Panjabrao Alai Bhausaheb Deshmukh. It gives me immense pleasure to be a part of this national webinar on creative writing organized by Department of English, Jijamata Mahavidyalaya, Buldana. Respected dignitaries present on this occasion, Dr. Sanjay Prasad Ji Sharma, Dr. Sumati Maya, Dr. Jadhav, Dr. Herankar, newly appointed Principal of Jijamata Mahavidyalaya, Buldana, Dr. Prashant Ji Kothe, teachers, non-teaching staff, and dear students. Let me speak few words about late Dr. Panjabrao Alai Bhausaheb Deshmukh. Late Bhausaheb Deshmukh founded Shri Shivaji Education Society in the year 1932 and started this college in 1956. The college was started mainly to serve the pupils of farmers and common man. After 65 years since its inception, I can proudly say that purpose of starting this college by Bhausaheb Panjabrao is served largely. What Bhausaheb had dreamt of about his students, that his student should be a personality of character. He or she should be diligent in studies, determined, positive in thinking, and physically fit. It means he wanted holistic development of a student and expected his teachers. What was his expectations from the teachers? That if there are any shortcomings in the development of a student by virtue of ignorance or by scant knowledge of parents, teacher has to fulfill that gap and groom the student. My dear friends, if you read New National Education Policy, you will find that Bhausaheb's vision then is now reflecting in the current education policy. And by organizing such type of conferences, we are giving a chance for the development of our students holistically, and for that I appreciate the efforts of Jizamata Mahavidyalaya under the leadership of Mr. Kote and his team. Now the subject matter of this conference, which is creative writing. Creative writing today is an essential component of every curriculum. This is because it catalyzes development of a student and encourages him to adopt ways to express himself. This instills a sense of confidence. Today, self-explanation and the ability to present an idea or a thought forms the foundation of success. Creative writing stimulates thought process. An individual having a grip over creative writing is more likely audience, be a public speaking event or testing times like an interview. A very important aspect of creative writing is that it fosters productive ideas. Today is an era where the young generation is occupied with social media. They often fail to pay reverence to the ongoing event. As a result, they are unable to develop the proper mindset. However, creative writing encourages to ponder over a topic, and thus this connects them with the world. They are able to develop empathetic for others' agony and reciprocate the same. In the process, they are also able to discover themselves and the personality they have. When you write creatively, a valiance is reborn, and you can actually keep aside all your sorrows and pains. This is my thinking. Now, regarding this conference, I think this conference has received tremendous response. Writers and researchers, not only pan-India, but from other countries like Dubai, Philippines, Kenya, Oman, Pakistan have also joined. More than 500 delegates have registered and joining us on this online platform. I formally declare that the national webinar on creative writing organized by Jizamata Mahavidyalaya Buldana is inaugurated, and express my best wishes for the success of this webinar. The two resource persons are outstanding personalities in the field of literature and possesses real authority to guide and enlighten people on the topic. And I definitely hope that my students will enrich themselves by grabbing this opportunity by listening to these two resource persons and interacting with them. I will log out now by reading two lines written by late Dr. Panjabrao alias Bhausaheb Deshmukh, who himself was a great writer and you can say a great creative writer. What he had written, I will spell out that art is long. Art is long and time is short. Remember this and drive your cart. You should utilize the time precisely, meticulously, and develop your character and career. I express my sincere thanks for the two organizers for giving me an opportunity to express myself, and to all of you for listening to me patiently. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Hemantji Kalmek sir. Your words are always a kind of inspiration for us, sir. And you have today appreciated our attempts. That is a real encouragement for us. We'll keep it on with your guidance and your support. Honorable Hemant Dada has explained here the vision of Dr. Bhau-Saheb Deshmukh behind this education institution. He really believed, and he said that agriculture is the only culture and education is the only medium of societal reforms. And he worked, he put all his potential, he gathered a whole movement, and he has transformed the society. The responsibility of taking ahead his mission is on our shoulders, and really we are happy to inherit such a great treasure of thoughts and social reforms with us. Thank you very much, sir. Now we'll move towards our first technical session, and for that session we are having a very brilliant and engaging poet and creative writer, and above all, a very enthusiastic person, a very great human being, Dr. Sanjay Prasad Sharma sir from UP, Prayagraj. I cordially invite Dr. Sharma sir. Please, Dr. Sharma sir, unmute yourself, and for the next hour, this virtual stage is yours. Dr. Sharma sir.
Yes. Thank you. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank
sir,
you.
you are
Thank you. Thank you. Can you clarify me how much time I have to keep on? Organizers, please.
Sir, you have 1 full hour, sir.
1 full hour. Okay, thank you. Yes. Sri Shivaji Education Society, Amravati, Jijabai Mahavidyalaya, Buldana, Maharashtra. Department of English is organizing a national level webinar on creative writing. I would like to pay my cordial thanks and millions of congratulations to Honorable Sri Harshvardhanji Deshmukh, President of Sri Shivaji Education Society and patron of this webinar. Also, I would like to pay my cordial thanks and millions of congratulations to Honorable Hemantji Kalmek, Member of Executive Council, SSES Amravati, Dr. Prashant Pote, Principal, Jijamata Mahavidyalaya, Buldana, Maharashtra, and Dr. Bharat Jadhav, Convener of the webinar and Head of the Department of English, and also Dr. Subodh Chinchole, Associate Professor of English and IQAC Coordinator, JMB Maharashtra, Professor Sriram Yarankar, Co-Coordinator, Co-Convener and In Charge Faculty of Humanities, who includes Dr. Vikas Pushkar and Mr. Abhijit Wadekar, who is one of my significant friends also, and the member of motivator teams, Advocate Baba Saheb Bhonde, Vasant Rao Chinchole, Professor Jagdev Rao Behkar, and advisory committee members, I think, who includes total 6 in numbers, and interestingly, all are principals of different colleges from Maharashtra. Certainly, you have very good advisory committee, and all members of organizing committee, that includes 12 in numbers, as well as all members of technical staffs, sports staff, faculty members, research scholars, participants from India and abroad. Let us, last but not least, all my loving and dear students who are participating in this webinar on creative writing. This is Dr. Sanjay Prasad Sharma, Associate Professor, Department of English, Mahamaya Government PG College, Dhanupur, Hadia, Prayagraj. Friends, creative writing needs a creative mind. So, what is mind? The mind is like energy. It remains a mystery. It is the least understood and the most wasted. The time is element and that empowers a person to think, feel, reason, understand, and make judgments. It is intangible and abstract, but it is not for real. So mind is intangible, and it is abstract. And until having no creative mind, I think that creativity or creative writing cannot take this. So in this way, our mind is a thought factory generating either positive or negative thoughts. We can condition our thought factory to become either like a thermometer or like a thermostat. A thermometer only reads the external temperature. It has no power to influence or change anything beyond that. It is totally helpless, whereas a thermostat has both the ability to read and regulate. Its control our environmental atmosphere, and it also controls our environment where we live. So how should our mindset and how our mind is like a thermometer or like a thermostat? Now, I would like to share how does thermometer mind works. Suppose a man wakes up in the morning, sees the bright sunshine and feels happy and elated. But the next day, he wakes up and sees the weather damp and gloomy, and he feels depressed. Who is controlling his mind? Naturally, the external weather. He is helpless. Now let us think, how does the thermostat mind works? A man wakes up in the morning, sees the bright sunshine. He too feels happy and elated. But the next day, he wakes up, sees the weather damp and gloomy, yet he feels happy and elated. Why? Let us think. He has programmed his thermostat mind to be happy and elated due to his creative observations. So, no matter what the external weather is, the weather in his mind is his control. And also it is in his total control, his charge of his life. So if we want to have a meaningful creative life, we should mold ourselves on a thermostat and not like a thermometer. So friend, a person with a positive attitude and creative writing cannot be stopped, while a person with negative attitude, thermometer, thinking can never be helped. So this is the difference between these two, negative or positive attitude and creativity of mind. So develop creativity, positivity, and thermostat of mind, and be a person of good character and great character. So what is creative writing and how it is defined? Let us think and consider. So far as creative writing is concerned, creative writing is a form of artistic expression. It draws on the imagination to convey meaning through the use of imagery, narrative, and drama. Traditionally referred to as literature, creative writing is an art of sorts, the art of making things up. It's writing done in a way that is not academic or technical, but still attracts an audience. Though the definition is rather loose, creative writing can be, for the most part, considered any writing that is original and self-expressive, which I will talk on later on, because I have some of my own original writings and how I feel about the country, about the person, about his dream, about common man, about the society. Those all how have been self-expressed by me. I would like to connect with you all that how a person can be creative and how creativity can make and can change the world of a common man. So a news article, for example, cannot be considered creative writing because its main goal is to present facts and not to express the feelings of the writer. While a news article can be entertaining, its main purpose is to present the facts. The purpose of creative writing is to both entertain and share human experiences. Until it is not entertaining, until it is not sharing the human experiences, and also it has no message for the coming generation to learn, I think that creative writing cannot be called a creative writing. So the basic purpose of creative writing is both to entertain and to share experiences like love and loss. Writers attempt to get a truth about humanity through poetics and storytelling. I would like to try my hand at creative writing, just keeping in mind that whether you are trying to express a feeling or a thought, the first step is to use your imagination. Until using your imagination, I think nobody can make that creative writing sensitive. So as per the subject matter, as per the top types of creative writings are concerned, I think that a creative writer can express his view or her views either writing some poems or through poetry. He can write some plays. He can also write the script of movie or television scripts, and also through mode of fiction like novel, novellas, and short stories. Also, a creative writer can express his feeling through writing of songs or singing of songs, and also one can deliver speeches or prepare speeches. Sometimes you can write memoir, and also through personal essays, one can express his creative writing skill. As you can see, some non-fiction types of writing can also be considered creative writing. Memoir and personal essays, for example, can be written creatively to inform your readers about your life in an expressive way, because these types are written in the first person because it is easier for them to be creative. See, to be creative, you are needed a very good word. So what is the power of word and how words play? So let me start through words. And as I have been directed that among our audience and our participants, there are more and more students and participants belonging to Hindi world as well. So I have been directed by the organizers that I may be bilingual as well. So I would like to share with you all some of my Hindi poems and some of my English poems, and try to transport you in the world of imagination, in the world of immortality, where you can feel and see how and what creative writing is all about. So far as life is concerned, if I think and if we can change the motive of words, we can see life is not like Midsummer Night. Life is not like King Lear, Macbeth, or Othello. Life is not like Tough Night. Life is as you like it. Life is as you like it. Friends, I don't want to give any gospel for you, but I would more like to share with you all the words and how the words play very significant role in our creativity. Here is a poem in Hindi describing power of words. See, listen, some words from Hindi poem which I have quoted for you all, and what is the power of word and how power of words play to be creative. शब्द में नूर समो दो तो उजाला हो जाए, दिल जो रख दो तो लबे नास का बोसा बन जाए. शब्द में नूर समो दो तो उजाला हो जाए, दिल जो रख दो तो लबे नास का बोसा बन जाए, और बारूद जो भर दो तो धमाका हो जाए. और बारूद जो भर दो तो धमाका हो जाए. फिर भी तुम शब्द को मुजरिम न खताकार कहो, शब्द से खेलने वालों को गुनहगार कहो. शब्द से खेलने वालों को गुनहगार कहो, शब्द टपकाएगा अमृत लबे गौतम तो हिले. शब्द टपकाएगा अमृत लबे गौतम तो हिले, रक्स फरमा हो कोई कन्हैया तो मिले. रक्स नृत्य, रक्स फरमा हो कोई कन्हैया तो मिले, शब्द हो जाएगा जिंदा कोई ईशा तो उठे. शब्द हो जाएगा जिंदा कोई ईशा तो उठे, कोई बंसी में समोले तो नगमा बन जाए, और शब्द को कृष्ण जो मिल जाए तो गीता हो जाए. और शब्द को कृष्ण जो मिल जाए तो गीता हो जाए. तो दिस इज द पावर ऑफ वर्ड. How you can involve yourself, how you can present yourself through the words, because words doesn't beat you, but if you are sensitive, it bites you. This that you have to be sensitive and you have to be creative, then word and sentences, paragraphs and writing will play its role. So far as techniques used in creative writing is concerned, it includes character development, plot development, vivid setting, underlying themes, point of view, dialogue, anecdotes, metaphors and similes, figures of speech, imaginative language, emotional appeal, and heavy description. So these are the techniques through which you can connect yourself through creative writing. And as far as its examples are concerned, I will go through some of my literary experiences, some from our literary world, and some of my own. So, as far as poem and songs are concerned, a poem or song tends to be more elusive or mysterious because it has a limited space because of its spatial limitations. However, it can make leaps in the subject matter and time. It doesn't have to rely on narrative structure. In poetry and songs, literary devices like similes and metaphors can be used to take the readers to surprising places. Some examples are here. See, one example I am quoting here from William Shakespeare's Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day, his sonnet number 18. So, in that sonnet, see, if there exists a poet who truly mastered the metaphor, that would be William Shakespeare. His poetical works and dramas all make extensive use of metaphors. His famous sonnet, Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day, is an extended analogy between the speaker's lover and fairness of the summer. The line or single line which I have quoted here, thy eternal summer shall not fade. Here, Shakespeare is communicating that the speaker's lover will remain beautiful and vital, though perhaps only in memory, captured in his rhyming couplet. Rhyming or starting, so long as men can breathe or eye can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. So love, like summer, is a life-giving force, but both come to an end. However, the poet's love and lover will live in long people read this poem. So here, a very good metaphor used by William Shakespeare to define his creativity, that how love and life both are being described very beautifully and metaphorically. The second example which I would like to quote here, John Donne and his beautiful poem, The Sun Rising. So, as we know that John Donne, a metaphysical poet, was also well known for his use of metaphors in his famous work, The Sun Rising. The speaker tells the sun that nothing else is as important in the world as him and his lover. Lines are, she is all states and all princes I. Nothing else is princes do, but players compared with this, all honors mimic, all wealth alchemy. Here, this highly evocative metaphor, Donne is claiming that his lover is like every country in the world, and every ruler, nothing else exists outside of them. Their love is so strong that they are the world, and all else is fate. So this is from poetry section, where metaphor has been used very creatively. Some of essays written by Francis Bacon also very best example so far as metaphors are concerned. See, Francis Bacon, the great essayist, has used metaphor very skillfully to express his views and give an excellent shape to his marvelous essays like Of Truth, of Revenge, of Studies, of Marriage and Single Life, of Love and of Friendship. In his essay Of Truth, he has written, truth is a naked and open delight that doth not shew the marks that memories and triumphs of the world half so stately and daintily as a candle lights. Again he quotes, certainly it is heaven upon earth to have a man's mind move in charity, rest in providence, and turn upon the poles of truth. How beautifully he has expressed truth and how truth is. In Revenge, in his famous essay of Revenge, he says, revenge is a kind of wild justice. So his lines are not lines, but lines are quotable quotes. In his another essay of Marriage and Single Life, very beautifully he has described how and what life is all about. He says, he that hath life and children hath given hostages to fortune, for they are impediments to great enterprises, either of virtue or mischief. So what a beautiful line he has said. In Of Love, he writes, it is impossible to love and to be wise. See, what a beautiful line. It is impossible to love and to be wise. So a wise man cannot be a good lover. What a beautiful suggestion. In Of Friendship, he writes, a crowd is not company, and faces are but a gallery of pictures, and talk but a tinkle cymbal where there is no love. And last but not least, which I would like to quote here, Of Studies, very beautiful lesson, and so many quotations are there, so many lines are metaphorically used there for creative writing. He writes, studies serve for delight, for ornament, and for ability. He also writes, history make men wise, poets witty, the mathematics subtle, natural philosophy deep, moral grave, logic and rhetoric able to contend. And also at one place he has written there in that essay, read not to contradict. What a very beautiful suggestion. Read not to contradict and confute, not to believe and take for granted, not to find talk and discourse, but to weigh and consider. This is the importance of study, that those who are people of study, those who are people of writing creativity, are writing creative materials, certainly they are people to weigh and consider. Such people are needed to weigh and consider. So this was from English section and from our literary world, where I quoted some of authors from the field of British literature. Now, I would like to compare and I would like to share myself with some of my Hindi poems. See, a common man has to suffer a lot, and a common man faces so many challenges. So I have two poems on loaf. रोटी पर हमने दो ही बहुत ही जीवंत और बहुत ही रचनात्मक कविताएं लिखी हैं. उनके माध्यम से मैं आपको अपनी क्रिएटिविटी समाज के प्रति और उस कॉमन मैन के प्रति क्या हो सकती है, मैं आपके साथ शेयर करता हूं और उम्मीद करता हूं कि आप मेरी भावनाओं को समझेंगे और क्रिएटिविटी से जुड़ पाएंगे. एक पोयम जो अभी मैंने खासकर इसी पर्टिकुलर वेबिनार के लिए मैंने लिखा था, रोटी पर ही मैं आपसे शेयर कर रहा हूं. टाइटल है कविता की, आज का आदमी. अपने 25 वर्षों का अनुभव हमें ये बताता है, अपने 25 वर्षों का अनुभव हमें ये बताता है कि अपने हाथ की फेंकी हुई रोटी कुत्ता भी नहीं खाता. अपने हाथ की फेंकी हुई रोटी कुत्ता भी नहीं खाता है. मैंने कुत्ते के सामने रोटी का टुकड़ा फेंका, कुत्ते ने 5 मिनट तक सूंघा, 10 मिनट तक गौर से देखा और भौं भौं करके उसने दूसरे कुत्ते को बुलाया, और भौं भौं करके उसने दूसरे कुत्ते को बुलाया. मामला अपने समझ में नहीं आया, मामला अपने समझ में नहीं आया. मैंने आश्चर्य में तेज स्वर से कहा, यार क्या कुत्तों में भी कायम होता है लोकतंत्र? यार क्या कुत्तों में भी कायम होता है लोकतंत्र? कुत्ता गंभीर स्वर में बोला, भाई साहब, आदमी की हाथ से सेकी हुई रोटियों में भी तो होता है षड्यंत्र. आदमी के हाथ से सेकी हुई रोटियों में भी तो होता है षड्यंत्र. अरे जहां आदमी एक टुकड़े के लिए अपना हाथ दूसरे आदमी के हलक के पार कर सकता है, जहां आदमी एक टुकड़े के लिए दूसरे आदमी के हलक तक पार कर सकता है, उसके फेंके हुए रोटी पर भला कोई कैसे एतबार कर सकता है? उसके फेंके हुए रोटी के टुकड़े पर भला कोई कुत्ता कैसे एतबार कर सकता है? हाँ, हम आजकल टुकड़ों की राजनीति में नहीं पड़ते, हम आजकल टुकड़ों की राजनीति में नहीं पड़ते. हम भी कुत्ते हैं साहब, आज के आदमी को कुत्ता ही समझते. हम भी कुत्ते हैं साहब, आज के आदमी को कुत्ता ही समझते, क्योंकि आदमी अपनी खुशी से एक रोटी का टुकड़ा भी यदि कहीं फेंकता है तो यकीन मानिए साहब, वो एक रोटी के टुकड़े के आड़ में न जाने कितनी रोटियां सेकता है, न जाने कितनी रोटियां सेकता है. So this is the poem through which I would like to share with you all that how these people, these rich people, these aristocratic people who don't have any relationship with such creativity, such sensitivity, playing their role so far as the politics of loaf is concerned. So this was the first poem. Now another poem which I would like to share with you, and that poem is certainly very significant so far as loaf is concerned, so far as roti is concerned. See, and a few of my friends belonging to Maharashtra who are in organizing committee as well, and also few of their friends have listened this poem once. So again, I am reciting on this huge platform the same poem, Roti, which is a comment on the society. See, मैं पढ़ रहा हूं, आप लोग सुनिए. मित्रों, कविता वो नहीं होती जो सुनी जाए, बल्कि कविता वो होती है जो समझी जाए. मेरा सवाल और मेरी पत्नी का जवाब, और इस प्रकार से ये कविता शुरू होती है. अमर उजाला आया नहीं, जागरण कोई लाया नहीं. अमर उजाला आया नहीं, जागरण कोई लाया नहीं. नव भारत फट गया, हिंदू बट गया. नव भारत फट गया, हिंदू बट गया. पंजाब केसरी फ्रेम में जड़ा है, राष्ट्रीय सहारा कुर्सी पर पड़ा है. भास्कर पानी में गल रहा है, हिंदुस्तान चूल्हे में जल रहा है. भास्कर पानी में गल रहा है, हिंदुस्तान चूल्हे में जल रहा है. रोटी को व्यवस्था कैसे छीन रही है, अलग अलग हिस्सों में बंट रही है। रोटी को व्यवस्था कैसे छीन रही है, अलग अलग हिस्सों में बंट रही है। अब देखिए, एक आम आदमी का दर्द शुरू होता है और कविता खुलती है, कैसे क्रिएटिविटी बढ़ती है आगे आप देखिए। एक आम आदमी, एक आम बेरोजगार बच्चा क्या सोचता है, न मेरे पास चेक था, न मेरे पास जैक था, न मेरे पास चेक था, न मेरे पास जैक था, न आरक्षण की कसौटी थी, बावजूद इसके मेरे पास एक रोटी थी। बावजूद इसके मेरे पास एक रोटी थी। रोटी खाने के लिए, सबको बताने के लिए मैंने चुना एक चौराहा। मैंने चुना एक चौराहा, तभी एक पुलिस वाला आया, उसकी काक दृष्टि मेरी रोटी पर पड़ी, देने लगा मुझे तड़ी। उसकी काक दृष्टि मेरी रोटी पर पड़ी, देने लगा तड़ी। बोला, क्यों बे यहां कैसे घूम रहा है? बोला, क्यों बे यहां कैसे घूम रहा है? दिन में लगा के झूम रहा है। तेरी सामत आई है, ये सड़क क्या तेरे बाप ने बनवाई? तेरी सामत आई है, ये सड़क क्या तेरे बाप ने बनवाई है? सुबह सुबह मुझे मत खफा कर, कुछ ले देकर मामला रफा दफा कर, कुछ ले देकर मामला रफा दफा कर। तेरी ये जेब क्यों इतनी मोटी है? निकाल तेरे पास जो रोटी है, निकाल तेरे पास जो रोटी है। मैंने उसे किया मना, पुलिस वाला थोड़ा तना। मैंने उसे किया मना, पुलिस वाला थोड़ा तना। तभी एक वकील साहब आए, मुझे लगा शायद ये मेरी रोटी बचाएं। तन के पूछा, क्या लफड़ा है? तन के पूछा, क्या लफड़ा है? मैंने कहा, सर ये पुलिस वाला मेरी रोटी के पीछे पड़ा है। मैंने कहा, सर ये पुलिस वाला मेरी रोटी के पीछे पड़ा है। वो बोले, ये भ्रष्टाचार की सीमाएं लांघ रहा है। वो बोले, ये भ्रष्टाचार की सीमाएं लांघ रहा है, खुलेआम रिश्वत मांग रहा है। मैं इसकी पेशी करूंगा, ऐसी की तैसी करूंगा। तू न्याय लेगा? तू न्याय लेगा? बोल मुझे क्या देगा? तेरे पास कुछ नहीं है, जो भी है सही है। हालांकि मेरी फीस बहुत छोटी है, मुझे दे दे तेरे पास जो रोटी है, मुझे दे दे तेरे पास जो रोटी है। उन्हें मनाकर मेरी नजर रोटी पर झुकी, उन्हें मनाकर मेरी नजर रोटी पर झुकी। तभी एक इंपोर्टेड कार मेरे पास आकर रुकी। एक मोटा सा सेठ सामने फेंका, अपनी बात फेंका। एक मोटा सा सेठ मेरे सामने फेंका। सेठ ने फटी फटी आंखों से मुझे देखा, बोला, ये बात मेरे समझ में नहीं आई। ये रोटी तूने कहां से चुराई? ये रोटी तूने कहां से चुराई? बाजार पे मेरा अधिकार है, बाजार पे तो मेरा अधिकार है, और रोटी खरीदना तेरी औकात से बाहर है। अचानक तेरी किस्मत खिल नहीं सकती, और जब तक हम हैं तुझे रोटी मिल नहीं सकती, और जब तक हम हैं तुझे रोटी मिल नहीं सकती। इस रोटी पर भरे पेट का हक है। मुझे तेरी ईमानदारी पर शक है, मुझे तेरी ईमानदारी पर शक है। लगता है तेरी नीयत खोटी है। मुझे दे दे तेरे पास जो रोटी है, मुझे दे दे तेरे पास जो रोटी है। अंत में एक नेताजी आए, अंत में एक नेताजी आए, मंद मंद मुस्काए, बोले, मेरी आंखों पर नहीं हो रहा विश्वास। रोटी और वो भी एक आम आदमी के पास, रोटी और वो भी एक आम आदमी के पास। लगता है इसमें विदेशी ताकतों का षड्यंत्र है। अभी तो इस देश में लोकतंत्र है, अभी तो इस देश में लोकतंत्र है। इसका मतलब वो लोकतंत्र की जड़ें काट रहे हैं। आजकल हथियारों के साथ साथ रोटी भी बांट रहे हैं, आजकल हथियारों के साथ साथ रोटी भी बांट रहे हैं। बड़ी गहरी चाल चली है, बता किस हाथ की कठपुतली है? बड़ी गहरी चाल चली है, बता किस हाथ की कठपुतली है, किस शतरंज की गोटी है। मुझे दे दे तेरे पास जो रोटी, मुझे दे दे तेरे पास जो रोटी है। नेताजी का अंदाज मुझे अंदर से हिला गया, एक डर सा पिला गया। मैं डरने लगा, कोई रोटी न छीन ले, किस्मत से आया ये सुखद पल, न कोई बिन ले। तभी एक कुत्ता मेरी ओर भौंका, तभी एक कुत्ता मेरी ओर भौंका। मैं डर से कांपा और चौंका। कुत्ते ने मेरा पैर पकड़ लिया, कुत्ते ने मेरा पैर पकड़ लिया, और उन चारों किरदारों ने, ऊपर वाले, और उन चारों ने कस के मुझे जकड़ लिया। मारने लगे घूंसे और लात से, रोटी छूट गई मेरे हाथ से। मारने लगे घूंसे और लात से, रोटी छूट गई मेरे हाथ से। हर कोई रोटी को अपने हिसाब से बांटने में लगा। कुत्ता मेरे घावों को चाटने लगा। कुत्ता मेरे घावों को चाटने लगा, आज भी चाट रहा है। मैं लहूलुहान हूँ, भोला हूँ, मासूम हूँ, नादान हूँ, मैं सपना हूँ, उमंग हूँ, उड़ान हूँ, मैं भारत हूँ, हिंदुस्तान हूँ, मैं पढ़ा लिखा इस देश का नौजवान, मैं पढ़ा लिखा बेकार इस देश का नौजवान हूँ। हिंसक भेड़ियों के पंजों में मेरी बोटी है, क्योंकि मैं भूखा हूँ, छिन गई मेरी रोटी है, क्योंकि मैं भूखा हूँ, छिन गई मेरी रोटी है। So this is the arrangement of loaf, and this is the creativity so far as Hindi literature is concerned from my part, that how a person can move, a person can change the motive of common man, the motive of those who are aristocratic as well, where the words are reaching and messages are being conveyed through such a way, either in Hindi or in English or in different languages of the world. Now, why should we learn creative writing? Why should we learn creative writing? I think that creative writing is one of the most misunderstood discipline in the 20th century. When people think of a creative writing course, they often imagine of a group of lofty, out of touch people who wear angrily sweater vests and have unproductive conversations about abstract concepts. In reality, nothing could be further from the truth. The best writing classes remain engaged the real world, and the skills gained in a creative writing course apply to nearly every facet of daily life. So if you are wondering whether it is worth picking up a course of fiction, non-fiction, or poetry, we may have 5 reasons to study creative writing. But first, let us talk about what actually happens in a creative writing course. The basics of creative writing workshop. Whether you are enrolled in a poetry fiction or non-fiction writing class, you can expect the following writing process. First, do or join a quality writing course to develop creative writing skills. Number 2, weekly prompts and writing exercises to sharpen the precision and necessity of each word you use. And number 3, constructive critique from a community of writers who are each growing their writing skills and alongside you. Number 4, a creative space to explore new ideas, experiment with language, and arrange words in new and exciting ways. Number 5, focused writing instructions from a master of the craft. So these are the basics which are needed to develop a creative writing. As far as the benefit of creative writing is concerned, it comes from engaging with the course material, the writing prompts, and the other class members. These elements help you to become a better writer, both in creative realms and in everyday life. So how? No matter what form of writing, a creative writing class pushes you to connect ideas and create effective narratives using the best words, and that is skills translates into real world of success. So these are the basics which are needed and required to develop very good creative writings. As far as the importance of creative writings are concerned, I think that it is simply put, creative writing help us preserve our humanity. What better medium to explore the human experience? So creative writing, like any art form, requires compassion, contemplation, and curiosity. Writers preserve the world as they observe it in stories and poetry, and they imagine a better world by creating it in their works. Through the decades, literature has explored society's profound changes. Literary eons like the naturalist movement and the beat poets responded to the increase of Western industrialization. Confessional poets like Virginia Woolf helped transform poetry into a medium for emotional exploration and excavation. And Jera movement like the cyberpunk writers of science fiction helped popularize the idea of an information economy. Thus, the importance of creative writing lies in its ability to describe the world through an honest and unfiltered lens. Anyone who engages in creative writing, no matter the genre or style, helps us explore the human experience, share new ideas, and advocate for better society. Whether you write your stories for yourself or share them with a wide audience, creative writing makes the world a better place. So here are some benefits also, so far as creative writing is concerned. So creative writing improves the self-expression of a person. If you are a creative writer, you can express yourself very simply. So improving your writing skills leads to stronger communication. When you practice finding the right word in a story or a poem, you engage the same parts of your brain that are active in everyday writing and speaking. A creative writing course subconsciously turns you into a more effective communicator. So creative writing makes you, or creative writing gives you a voice. Creative writing gives you a platform, and creative writing gives you a stage where you can express yourself, because those who are creative, many thoughts come in their mind. Or in simple way also we can say that in everyday life there comes lot of thoughts in our mind. So we need a stage to express our feelings. What may be that stage? Either you can write something or you can develop any creativity described by me above, and you can express yourself. So it helps to express the self views of a person. The importance of precise language and self advocacy translates well into both interpersonal relationship and working environments. Take it from this expert on how writing and self advocacy results in career and leadership success. So this is the way how you can express yourself in your writing. So far as the second benefit of creative writing is concerned, creative writing leads to a job success. It also provides some job if you are interested. If you can engage yourself in creative writing, you can earn some money as well. How? So this brings us to our next point. Great writing leads to a job success. Of course, your boss probably isn't expecting you to writing emails in the form of a short story or a sonnet. Though, if they are expecting this, you have a pretty cool boss, I think. So in reality, almost every job requires some sort of written work, whether that is simple written communication or something more elaborate like publishing data or marketing materials. In a creative writing class, you practice the style and grammar rules necessary for effective writing, both within the realms of literature and in career-related writing. Sharpening your writing and creativity skill might just lend you your next promotion. So writing novels and writing stories, we can develop a career and earn lot of money. So many writers are there in the field of English literature and in other languages as well, that they have made a very good career in writing skill and writing through novels and dramas and so many stories as well. So the third benefit of creative writing is it boosts the thinking skill. Right? Creative writing boosts our thinking skill. So strong writing leads to strong thinking. So no matter what type of writing you pursue, learning how to write is another form of learning how to think. So through learning writing, you can learn how to think as well, and how to think differently as well, how to think creatively as well. So that might seem like a bold claim. So think about it this way. Without language, our thoughts wouldn't have a form. We might not need language to think I am hungry or I like cats. But when it comes to more abstract concepts, language is a key. How would you think about things like justice, revenge, or equality without the words to express them? As we have read in some quotations and some words written by Francis Bacon. So when you hone in on your ability to find choice, specific words, and when you work on the skills of effective storytelling and rhetoric, you improve your ability to think in general. Good writing yields great thinking. So this is the third benefit of being a creative writer. Now the fourth I would like to share with you, it fosters our empathy. Creative writing sympathize us. We make us that how a sympathetic person we can be. And I think that sympathy is very significant field, significant word, because until having no sympathy in our heart for others and others for us, the world will be desert. So I think that if the creativity or creative writing develops any kind of sympathy, any kind of empathy in us, that it would be a better field. So far as its benefit is concerned, reading and writing both rely on empathy, especially when it comes to being an effective workshop participant. When we read and write stories, we situate ourselves in the shoes of the other people. But when we read and write poetry, we let language navigate us through emotions. So until having no emotions, I think that creativity cannot take place. So the importance of creative writing relies on empathy. We practice empathy whenever we listen to another person's life story. When someone tells us about their day, and when we sit down with a client or our partner. When we write, we practice the ability to listen as well as to speak, making us more effective communicators and more compassionate human beings. So this is the way it develops empathy in us. So far as creative writing, another feature, another benefit is concerned, I think that it also makes us funny person. See, it gives us fun as well. So in case you are not convinced that a writer course is right for you, let us clarify one more fact. Creative writing is fun. Whether you are of fiction writing course or starting a memoir, crafting a poem, or writing for the silver screen, you are creating a new world of character. In the sandbox of literature, you are in control. And when you invest yourself into the craft of writing, something beautiful emerges. And that is why it benefits you, like, it gives you a kind of fun that make you internally positive and also internally a man of good thinking, positive thinking. So this was the some features and some ways how I was trying to engage with you all with some creativity. So far as some of my English poems are concerned, I would like to transport you into the dream. So on a dream also, I have composed some of my poems in English, and I would like to share those English poems, how they are being creative and how they are able to transport into the world of imagination. So here is a poem titled Dream. From myself, from my creation. One day in December, the month of cold and frost, in a book of fairies, I was lost. The room was suddenly flooded with living light, and it was a completely beautiful sight. In front of me, a fairy stood, looking charming, kind, and good. She was dressed in white turquoise and spoke in a silvery voice. She said, "Sanjay, you are a pleasant child, and all others I know are wild. You certainly deserve a reward. What would you like as an award? Toys, books, or a delicious dish? Just name it and I will grant your wish." Joyfully, I started to scream. When I woke up, I found it was all a dream. So this is dream how in poetry you can express. And one more poem I would like to say, The Lost Love. The Lost Love, very interesting poem and very creative poem. See how a person makes dream and how the dream destroys. I think that this would be the best example. So I met her in this world of hectic pace. I met her in this world of hectic pace. She had blue eyes and a beautiful, charming face. I adored her and wished her to be my friend. For her, I changed myself and my every trend. I dreamt of her eyes in the moonless night. I saw them shining blue and bright. Her beaming, gleaming face would make me glad. I wished her to be smiling ever when I was sad. I wished her to be smiling even when I was sad. Tears in her eyes, I could never tolerate. Tears in her eyes, I could never tolerate. For her, I could even challenge the fate. I considered her ideal and more virtuous, but of social views I saw quite oblivious. For her, the supreme is one's caste. This is the question I would like to raise. The caste, religion, and reason. These are the barriers where two souls have to face a lot, and they couldn't get their success. So for her, the supreme is one's caste. Due to this, I lost her at last. I lost her in this world of cruelty, where love and sentiments are mere inanity, where people are divided on the basis of creed. In such a hectic world, I lost her indeed. Now I miss her and search her for all around. Sometimes I can hear her voice so profound, but now where I can find that tempting girl, I yearn for her fragrant, glossy curl. I will never forget her throughout my life. Her memories will strengthen me for every strife. I have reason to weep at my woe, for the saddest was first my love. So this was the dream that one can imagine, and one can draw the picture of a common man and the picture of a sufferer, the picture of a lover, the picture of a creative person, and a picture of so many people in the society, where we can transport their imaginations, transport their feelings into the world of dream and into the world of relief, where a common sufferer finds some relief. So this was from English section. A few more lines in the way you have organized this seminar. Some of the footage which I would like to share, then I will conclude because you have allotted me 1 hour and it is going to be 2.
सर जी आप गाते बहुत अच्छा हो, तो एक गजल गा के सुनाइए और फिर
हाँ मैं उसको
लोगों को और हम पार्टिसिपेंट को अच्छा लगे।
कुछ छोटे फुटेज मैंने जो है आपके इस पूरे आयोजन के लिए और कुछ मैसेज देने के लिए मैंने हिंदी में अलग अलग तरीके से 4 लाइन के तैयार किए हैं। मैं उनको जो है चाहता हूं शेयर करना। देखिए सहारा क्या होता है, वक्त क्या होता है, कैसे आप जो है आप क्या करते हैं, जो आप कर रहे हैं यह एक तरह से हेल्प है उन बच्चों के लिए जो बहुत कुछ सीख पाएंगे। देखिए, सहारा दे किसी को वक्त की सीढ़ी चढ़ा देना, सहारा दे किसी को वक्त की सीढ़ी चढ़ा देना, और किसी अनपढ़ को यूं ही पाठ उल्फत का पढ़ा देना, और मदद मैंने तुम्हारी की तो ये एहसान है तुम पर, कभी तुम भी यही करके इसे आगे बढ़ा देना, कभी तुम भी यही करके इसे आगे बढ़ा देना। ये एक दूसरा फुटेज है, एक दूसरा कथा है, मैं आपसे शेयर करना चाहता हूं कि एक आम आदमी के लिए, एक सफरर के लिए हम लोग कैसे इस मुस्कान बन सकते हैं। हाउ कैन बी द रीजन ऑफ स्माइल फॉर अ कॉमन मैन। तो फटे सूखे सिसकते होठों की मुस्कान बन जाना, और भले टूटा हो घर के आईने का मान बन जाना। फटे सूखे सिसकते होठों की मुस्कान बन जाना, भले टूटा हो घर के आईने का मान बन जाना, और फरिश्ता जब भी बनना चाहोगे बन जाओगे भाई, अगर मौका मिले तो पल भर को इंसान बन जाना। दैट इज द मैसेज आई वुड लाइक टू कन्वे यू। एंड द थर्ड शॉर्ट पोएम व्हिच आई वुड लाइक टू शेयर, गमों के धूप में आंसू उबाल कर देखो, गमों के धूप में भी आंसू उबाल कर देखो, बनेंगे रंग किसी पर भी डालकर देखो, तुम्हारे दिल की चुभन जरूर कम होगी, किसी के पांव से कांटा निकाल कर देखो। द फोर्थ आई वुड लाइक टू से, अंधेरों के गुलामों को कहीं परछाई मिलती है। देखिए कैसे मिलता है चीजें, हाउ वी कैन गेन थिंग्स आफ्टर हैविंग नो हार्ड वर्क, आफ्टर नॉट हैविंग पैशन इन द वर्क, आई थिंक दैट वी कांट गेट एनीथिंग। तो अंधेरों के गुलामों को कहीं परछाई मिलती है, और बिना डूबे क्या किसी को गहराई मिलती है। मेरे पिताजी ने बोलकर चौखट रखी थी ऊंची, कि बेटा झुक के रहने से ऊंचाई मिलती है। This is the message I would like to convey, that if you have no idea how to respect others, you cannot find respect. So if you want respect, you have to respect others also. एक और है कि वो लम्हा जब किसी से संसार छूटता है, वो लम्हा जब किसी से संसार छूटता है, भगवान या मुकद्दर या वक्त रूठता है, तकलीफ तो देता है पर उतनी नहीं देता जितनी कि जब किसी का विश्वास छूटता है। So belief is must. Until having no trust, people say that love is very common word, love is very popular and significant word in the world, but I think that trust is the one of the significant word in the world. So trust is very important. और एक बंद मैं सुनाता हूँ उन युवाओं के लिए, जो बच्चे, जो स्टूडेंट्स इस वेबिनार में जुड़े हुए हैं, खास कुछ बच्चे हमारे भी स्टेट से जुड़े हुए हैं जो तैयारी कर रहे हैं, और very soon they are going to appear in the TGT and PGT examination. So to them I would like to say कि होंगे वो और जो हर दर पे सर झुकाते हैं, होंगे वो और जो हर दर पे सर झुकाते हैं, हम तो हाथों की लकीरें भी खुद बनाते हैं। होंगे वो और जो हर दर पे सर झुकाते हैं, हम तो हाथों की लकीरें भी खुद बनाते हैं। मुश्किलें हौसलों की ठोकरों में होती हैं, हम वो दरिया हैं जो पहाड़ों को चीर जाते हैं, हम वो दरिया है जो पहाड़ों को चीर जाते हैं। तो दिस वाज द मैसेज आई वांटेड टू शेयर विथ यू ऑल, एंड जाधव सर हैज रिक्वेस्टेड मी फॉर a song, so I would like to convey some creative message through a common man again, because in our country mostly youths number is in great, so they are in great number and they are suffering a lot also. But how a sufferer is thinking, and how a sufferer is feeling, and how he can recover that suffering, through this song I would like to convey that message. So I am going to recite my one of poems in melody through singing. Can I start?
Yes sir, yes.
Yes. जो हारा जिंदगी से हो, सफाई कुछ नहीं देता, जो हारा जिंदगी से हो, सफाई कुछ नहीं देता। कोई कितना भी चिल्लाए, सुनाई कुछ नहीं देता। यही कहने का मकसद है कि हर एक चीज की हद है, ज्यादा रोशनी में भी दिखाई कुछ नहीं देता, ज्यादा रोशनी में भी दिखाई कुछ नहीं देता। हकीकत से जहां वालों ने ऐसी दुश्मनी कर ली, हकीकत से जहां वालों ने ऐसी दुश्मनी कर ली कि सच का दिल जला करके सभी ने रोशनी कर ली। शुभ तब इससे बढ़कर क्या है उसकी बेगुनाही का, सफाई दे नहीं पाया तो उसने खुदकुशी कर ली, सफाई दे नहीं पाया तो उसने खुदकुशी कर ली। और देखिए आज के बच्चे कैसे छोटी छोटी डांट से घबरा जाते हैं, परेशान हो जाते हैं। जरा भी डांट का सहना उसे अच्छा नहीं लगता, कभी सच बात को सहना उसे अच्छा नहीं लगता। बड़ा होकर कोई बच्चा जो चलना सीख जाता है, तो माँ की गोद में रहना उसे अच्छा नहीं लगता, तो माँ की गोद में रहना उसे अच्छा नहीं लगता। और अंतिम बंद है, कैसे हम एक दूसरे का हम कमेंट करते हैं, चुगली करते हैं। किसी के होठ होते हैं, किसी की बात होती है, कहीं पर धूप होती है, कहीं बरसात होती है। अंधेरे आपका दामन कहीं पर भी ना छोड़ेंगे, यहाँ भी रात होती है, वहां भी रात होती है, यहाँ भी रात होती है, वहां भी रात होती है। So this is all from my part. I think that my time is over, and with one 4-line Hindi poem I would like to conclude my thought कि तन अच्छा होता है तो वो मन की उम्र बढ़ा देता है। ये सभी ऑर्गेनाइजर्स के लिए मैं 4 लाइन पढ़ रहा हूं कि तन अच्छा होता है तो वो मन की उम्र बढ़ा देता है, जैसे छाया किसी वृक्ष का आंगन की उम्र बढ़ा देता है। खिलने को तो फूल रोज हजारों खिलते हैं, पर माली आप जैसा हो तो वो गुलशन की उम्र बढ़ा देता है, तो वो गुलशन की उम्र बढ़ा देता है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद,
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और I am highly excited to listen Dr. Sumati, who is one of the best speaker and very good person as well. So let me listen and welcome Dr. Sumati. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Really, what a great presentation it was. And just look at the chat box, the responses from the listeners and participants. Really, very thank you, sir.
It's all your love, sir. It's all your love that you are showing your love and affection on us. Very nice. I am also very much happy, and I appreciate you a lot that you invited me and gave me a chance to speak and share some of my words. And being a creative writer, I have so many things to share, but time actually has been allotted, and we have to care and respect that, because I also teach discipline management, time management, money management, speaking management. So I try to follow that. So very good organization and very good effort made by you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure. You are such a deep ocean of inspiration for creative writers. We cannot fathom. No. So I would like to say a few lines for your beautiful presentation. The lines are again from a shair from Allahabad, Akbar Allahabadi. He says, कोई हंस रहा है, कोई रो रहा है, कोई पा रहा है, कोई खो रहा है, कहीं नाउम्मीदी ने बिजली गिराई, कहीं बीज उम्मीद के कोई बो रहा है. So you
Well
have
said.
really sown some seeds, and they will really grow and bloom shortly in the form of creativity among the participants. Thank you very much, sir. और रोटी पे क्या कहना, अब एक एक कविता पे कुछ कहूँ तो काफी वक्त लग जाएगा सर. I'm sure that very soon we'll have to organize one special session again, and the guest will be no doubt Dr. Sharma sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thanks.
So here we'll turn to the second session by our equally brilliant and most resource person, Dr. Sumathi Maya ma'am from Dindigul, Tamil Nadu, India. She is a recipient of many awards for her research papers, research projects, and she has also been an academic visitor to Salford University, Manchester, UK. So we are very eager to listen you, ma'am. So please, over to you. Begin with your presentation, Dr. Sumathi Maya ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
It gives me
You are audible.
It gives me immense pleasure to join national organized by the Department of English, Jija Mada Mahavidyalaya, Buldana. My profound thanks to the management, Shivaji Education Society, Amravati, Honorable Shri Hemant Ji, Member Executive Council, Dr. Prashant Kote, Principal, Professor Shubodh, Dr. Bharat Jadhav, Head of the Department of English, Dr. Sanjay Prasad Sharma, and Abhijit Wandelkar for giving me an opportunity to deliver a talk on creative writing. Once again, I extend my sincere thanks to one and all. Shall I share my screen?
Yes, madam, you can.
Yes, please share your screen, ma'am.
Are you able to see?
Please.
Are you able to see my screen?
Not yet, madam.
I clicked it but not able to share. Can you? Not able to see? Can you see? No. No, not able to see. Can you see now?
Yes, yes. It's
Yes.
clearly visible, madam.
All
Yes.
right. Shall I
Yes,
proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
This is Dr. Sumathi.
Yes, ma'am. Now it is visible.
Yes, Dr. Sumathi from M.A. Mutya Government Arts College for Women. I'm from Tamil Nadu. I live in a very remote place of Tamil Nadu. This place is called Dindigul, right? So let me start with what is creative writing. Creative writing, anything that goes outside the bounds of the normal professional be identified by an emphasis on narrative craft, development, and use of literary tropes, or with various traditions of poetry and poetics. This creative writing forms both fictional and non-fictional. It comes under all the category like novels, biographies, short stories, and poems. Viti Labrand said, creative writing is a composition of any kind of writing. It involves the need for keeping records of significant experience, the need for sharing experience with an interested group, and need for free individual expression, which contributes to mental and physical health. To write creatively, one must be able to think creative. So what is creative thinking? Creative thinking is nothing but creativity is the ability to generate a thought or an idea that is completely new, appealing, and useful. Creative thinking is a skill that enables you to come up with original and unconventional ideas. Let's go in detail the genres of creative writing. How one becomes a creative writer, or what are the things we could see in creative writing? The genres, genre, we call it as a genre. So let's see the genres of creative writing: poetry, plays, movie and television scripts, fiction, songs, speeches, memoirs, personal essays. So all of us are much familiar and aware of the terms. What am I going to say now? So this is a session just we are going to refresh. We are not going to learn anything because all our teachers, English teachers, and we are much familiar with all these words. For example, if I talk about poetry, we have come across 15 types of poetic forms. It comes under creative writing genre, that is rhymed poetry, blank verse, free verse, epics, narrative poetry, haiku, pastoral poetry, sonnet, elegies, ode, limerick, lyric poetry, ballad, soliloquy, and villanelle. Some of the terms are very, very familiar, but even then I would like to refresh all the terms. If they are students, they may be getting useful with these terms. All right. Blank verse, we all know it is a poetry written with the precise matter, always with iambic pentameter. So it does not rhyme. There is no rhyme at all. That's why it is called as a blank verse. Rhymed poetry, in contrast to a blank verse, this is full of a rhyming pattern, like with the rhyming vowel sounds and with the consonant sounds, assonance and consonants. Coming back to free verse, what is a free verse? Free verse poetry is a poetry that lacks a consistent rhyme scheme, metrical pattern, or musical form. This is free verse. Epics. We all know what is epic. Being an Indian, we have a very popular epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata. And British writers, they have Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained, and Fairy Queen by Edmund Spenser, Paradise Lost and Regained by John Milton. It all comes under epics. It is a very lengthy narrative work of poetry. These long poems typically detail extraordinary feats and adventures of characters from a distant past. The next comes as narrative poetry. It is similar to epic. A narrative poem tells a story, and Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's The Midnight Ride of a Paul Revere and Coleridge, The Rime of Ancient Mariner, exemplify this form. Haiku, it's very, very popular among us. A haiku is a 3-line poetic form originating in Japan. The first line has 5 syllables, and the second line has 7 syllables, and the third line has 5 syllables. Pastoral poetry. A pastoral poem is one that concerns the natural world, rural life, and landscapes. These poems have preserved from ancient Greeks in the poetry of Hesiod to ancient Rome, Virgil, to the present day Garicinder. The Bard by John Donne, The Passionate Shepherd to His Love by Christopher Marlowe are all very popular pastoral poetry. Sonnet. A sonnet is a 14-line poem, typically concerning the topic of love. Sonnet contains internal rhymes within their 14 lines. The exact rhyme scheme depends on the style of sonnet. Very popular are Petrarchan sonnet and Shakespearean sonnet. They are very, very renowned. Elegies. An elegy is a poem that reflects upon a death or a loss. Traditionally, it contains the themes of mourning, loss, and reflection. However, it can also explore themes of redemption and consolation. John Milton's Lycidas, Lord Tennyson's In Memoriam, Walt Whitman's When Lilacs Last in Dooryard Bloomed are evergreen poems of these elegies. Next comes ode. Ode, much like an elegy, an ode is a tribute to a subject, although the subject may not be dead or even sentiment, as in Keats, Ode on an Grecian urn, Ode to Melancholy, Ode to a Nightingale, Ode on Intimation of Immortality from the collections of early childhoods by Wordsworth, are very popular odes. Limerick. Limerick is a 5-line poem that consists of a single stanza whose subject is a very short, pithy tale or a description, a very short poem. Next is a lyric poetry. A lyric poetry refers to the broad category of poetry that concerns feelings and emotions. This distinguishes it from two other poetic categories, epic and dramatic. Ballad. A ballad is a form of a narrative verse that can be either poetic or musical. It typically follows a pattern of rhyme quatrains. From John Keats to Taylor Coleridge to Bobby Dylan, it represents a melodious form of a storytelling. Soliloquy. A soliloquy is a monologue in which a character speaks to him or herself, expressing inner thoughts that an audience might not otherwise know. Soliloquies are not definitely poems, although they often can be most famous in plays of William Shakespeare. And finally, Villanelle, a 19-line poem consisting of 5 tercets and a quatrain with a highly specified internal rhyme scheme. Originally a variation on a pastoral, the Villanelle has evolved to describe obsessions and other intense subject matters as exemplified by Dylan Thomas, author of Villainous Light. Do not go gentle into that midnight. So we'll move on to the next genre of creative writing, plays. And otherwise we call it as drama. Drama in India has a very grand old history. Tagore, the first major playwright, invested Indian English drama with lyrical excellence, symbolism, and allegorical significance. Dramatists like Manjiri Ishwaran, Nizir Ezekiel, Lakan Dey, Gurucharan Das, D.V. Dasani, Pratap Sharma, Asif Korimwad, G.V. Patel, and Pritish Nandi made significant contribution in uplifting the Indian English drama. Contemporary Indian drama is experimental and innovative in terms of thematic and technical qualities. A cumulative theatrical tradition evolved by Mohan Rakesh, Badal Sarkar, Vijay Tendulkar, and Girish Karnad prepared the background of contemporary Indian English theatre. Yayati by Girish Karnad, Tukla by Karnad, Taj Mahal Katenda by Ajay Shukla, Ebong Indrajit by Badal Sarkar, a very prominent place and rocked the theatres for a very long time. In general, there are 4 major types of comedy. There are there are 4 types of drama. Number 1 is comedy, number 2 is tragedy, number 3 is tragic comedy, and the 4th one is melodrama. And comedy is further classified as black comedy, farce, romantic, sentimental, comedy of humors, and comedy of manners. Shakespeare's comedy, The Taming of the Shrew, A Midsummer Night's Dream, Twelfth Night, and The Tempest are known comedies all over the world. Coming to tragedy, Roman tragedy, Elizabethan tragedy, Jacobean tragedy, revenge tragedy were recorded according to the era. Antony and Cleopatra, Coriolanus, Hamlet, Julius Caesar, King Lear, Macbeth, Othello, Romeo and Juliet were the predominant plays of those periods and concerned with the tragedy. When I was in England, usually I go to London, especially to go around the Globe Theatre. So crossing the Thames River and reaching the Globe Theatre is a very far from Manchester. So whenever I happened to see Globe Theatre, I was much impressed of the language, Shakespeare, the theme, and the way how he has brought out his play in this theatre, full of imagination. I used to go around with the Globe Theatre. So the existing Globe Theatre is newly remodeled, but the Shakespeare's Globe Theatre is under renovation, and it is under the control of the British government, and it is kept very safe under protection manner, because common people cannot enter into the Globe Theatre just like that. So I have been to the new model Globe Theatre, which is very close to the Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. So whenever I feel like talking about Shakespeare or the Shakespeare's works, I'm always taken back to England, especially London, crossing the Thames River and reaching the Globe Theatre. And now also I feel the same as if I'm in London near Globe Theatre. Thanks to Shakespeare, always it kept me alive. So coming to the next thing, tragic comedy, and here too comes William Shakespeare, The Merchant of Venice, The Cherry Orchard by Anton Chekhov, Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett, and Winter's Day by William Shakespeare, The Caretaker by Harold Pinter. These are all, they form a very good examples of tragic comedy. And coming to melodrama, Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights was very popular those days. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam,
Yes, ma'am.
Because
please make it
it's
slideshow, madam.
a post-lunch. No, I thought all will be in very sound sleep. No? All of
Madam, please make your presentation slideshow in slideshow mode.
a slideshow, because I didn't go in detail, just I keep explaining them.
Okay, no problem.
Right. So now we are moving to movie and television scripts. So Harry Potter is a film series based on the eponymous novels by J.K. Rowling. Actually, Harry Potter character is based on real person. J.K. Rowling drew her inspiration for the boy who lived from her neighbor, Ian Potter, who lived just 4 doors down from Rowling when she was a child. So the movie Harry Potter is very prominent English movie, and some of the plays which turned to movies are Hamlet. It turned to an English movie, The Lion King, and She's the Man. It's turned to Twelfth Night was the She's the Man. Romeo Juliet, the West Side Story, English movie. King Lear, which turned to the King of Texas, and The Taming of the Shrew turned to an English movie, The 10 Days I Hate You. And popular soap operas are Gossip Girl, American Horror Stories, Manifest, Game of Thrones, Ted Lasso, Virgin River are popular soap operas in English. The next genre in creative writing is novel. The different types of novel are mysteries, thrillers, science fiction, fantasy, and historical fiction. Agatha Christie holds the title of best-selling fiction author of all time, having sold an estimated 2 billion copies of her 70 crime novels. Romance. Jane Austen, these intricate worlds of high society, of marriage, love, betrayal. And some of other classic romance novels are Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, and Emma are her remarkable romance novels. Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre and E.M. Forster's A Room with a View are notable creative romance novels. When we talk about science fiction, Jules Verne, often called the father of science fiction, along with H.G. Wells and Hugo Gernsback, had a profound influence of science fiction. His Journey to the Center of the Earth, Around the World in 80 Days are read by millions. H.G. Wells' The Time Machine and The War of the Worlds, Odyssey Clarke's A Space Odyssey are very popular creative writing science fiction. Historical fiction. When we talk about historical fiction, Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni, Palace of Illusions, Mahashweta Devi's Draupadi, Queen of Jhansi, Kamala Markandeya's The Golden Honeycomb, Vimla Rainer's The Ambapali are prominent in the world of creative writing historical fiction. We'll move on to the next genre, short stories, anecdote. Short stories of different types. Let me follow the different topics and titles which will be useful for your creative writing on what aspect we are going to write, or for the writers it will be very useful. So anecdote, drabble, fable, fake quote, flash fiction, French story, mini saga. There are so many topics, titles, subtitles. Let me explain what are they. Anecdote, as we all know, it is a storytelling about a real person or an incident, self-experience, sharing of a self-experience is called as an anecdote. Drabble is not, is something like a very brief story which runs around 100 words. It's a very, very brief, in very short, it is explained. So that is drabble. Fable. Very popular fables are Aesop fables. The story, what he says is fable, and the message, what he gives is moral. So Aesop fables, he uses anthropomorphic creatures like animals, mythical creatures, plants, inanimate objects, or forces of nature. Everything very, very creatively presents. Aesop fables. So it's a full of imagination, and it ends with a moral. That's it, right? That's why it is called as a fable with anthropomorphic creatures. The next comes Feghoot. Feghoot is a kind of a short story which talks more of humor, humorously sharing a kind of an incident, or where somewhere it might have happened, and sharing with someone. With humorously we share the instance, that is called Feghoot. Next comes flash fiction. It is extremely a very short piece of literature which runs around 300 to 1,000 words, and not very widely accepted length. That's called flash fiction. The next comes a frame story. Frame story, it is otherwise called as a frame tale or a nested narrative, which forms a story within a story, is called as a frame story. This is for the purpose of introducing or setting the stage for a main narrative or a series of short stories. It's a frame story. Next is mini saga. Mini is very short, which you need to tell a story within 50 words. That's why it is called as a mini saga. The next is story sequence. When a group of short stories work together to form a longer piece, it is called as a story sequence. So each story functions as a complete short story on its own. So otherwise it is also called as a short story cycle or a composite novel. The next is sketch story. If you come across a description of a character or location, from that creating a story is called a sketch story. That is creating a story from a person, or creating a story from a location, or creating a story from an incident, that is called a sketch story. And finally, in short story, we come to vignette. Vignette is a short piece that focuses on a single scene, single character, single idea, single setting, and single object. So the singleness is a very prominent, little emphasis on one short story, creating a short story. That's what it is called as vignette. So very popular short stories are Ernest Hemingway's Hills Like White Elephants, Anton Chekhov's The Bet, Jackson's The Lottery, Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart, Gilman's The Yellow Wallpaper, Jack's To Build a Fire, and O. Henry's The Gift of Nature. These are all very prominent short stories we have come across. And let's move on to the next genre, songs. The creative songs differ according to the language, region, nation, race. So the genres of popular songs are chart songs, ballad songs, folk songs, novelty songs, anthem songs, rock, blues, soul. So there are different varieties. So I didn't stick on to one particular variety or going in detail on songs because it differs according to our choice. We keep listening, and it differs actually. So the next comes is speeches. It's also a genre of creative writing. Speeches. There are different types of speeches, creative speeches. They are informative, entertaining, demonstrative, persuasive, oratorical, debate, special occasion speech, and pitch speech. We might have come across so many wonderful speakers like Shiv Khera, Shashi Tharoor, Martin Luther King, Swami Vivekananda, Shah Rukh Khan, Barack Obama, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Benny Lewis, and Joyce Mayer. So it differs according to our choices, according to our taste, according to our likes and dislikes. We go for listening to such speeches. So it's very, very important that listening is a very important part of English language communication skill. That's why it comes first and foremost for listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So the next genre is memoir. What is memoir? Memoir is a non-fictional first personal written account of real life. Memoir is a French term which means memory or reminiscence, focuses on personal experience, intimacy, and emotional truth. Memoir writers often play with their memories and with the real life in order to tell a good story. The different kinds of memoirs are anthology, short book, personal essay, personal event memoir, portraiture memoir, spiritual quest memoir, travel adventure memoir, political activism memoir, or all different parts on different kinds of memoirs. And this personal essays, it comes under memoirs and speeches when it forms as a personal writing skill. Right. We'll move on to the next one. Renowned creative writers. So I've chosen a few writers: Leo Tolstoy, James Joyce, Fyodor Dostoevsky, William Faulkner, Charles Dickens, and Anton Chekhov. So why I have chosen these writers? They are very creative in their own way in their presentation, but what they have taken their themes in their creativity is very important. Just for an example, let's talk about Leo Tolstoy. Is Anna Karenina. It's about the two major characters. Here you could see that his creativity holds thoughtful discussion on love, pain, and family in Russian society with a sizable cast of characters regarding for their realistic humanity. The novel was especially revolutionary in its treatment of women, depicting prejudices and social hardships of the time with vivid emotion. So his creativity, along with his creativity, what he has taken the theme, they are very, very important. So tragedy he takes, he love and pain and family with relevance to the Russian society. So his writings are almost full of revolution and social hardships and depicting prejudices in society. So the next author I have taken is James Joyce. James Joyce's creativity is known for his experimental use of language and exploration of new literary methods, including interior monologue, use of a complex network of symbolic parallels and invented words, puns, and allusions in his novels, especially Ulysses, which was published in the year 1922, and Finnegan's Wake, which was published in the year 1959. So all are much familiar with James Joyce writings, right? And Fyodor Dostoevsky, what he's popular for? He's popular for his philosophy. His creativity is his philosophy. He was intimately familiar with two major philosophies, that of Orthodox Christianity and of utopian socialism. Each had its own specific and finely tuned understanding and justification of suffering, and each prescribed its own remedy. The next I have taken for the study is Faulkner. Faulkner creativity was known for his experimental style with meticulous attention of diction and cadence. Faulkner made frequent use of stream of consciousness, Gothic and broad stories of a wide variety of characters, including former slaves or descendants of slaves, poor, white, agrarian, or working class, Southerners, and Southern aristocrats. The next comes Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens' novels creativity focused on theme like poverty. So this sort of a poverty theme is seen in his Oliver Twist, Hard Times, and even in Christmas Carol. Anton Chekhov is merged themes like disease, death, frustrated dreams, unfulfilled expectations. His most famous four plays, The Seagull, The Three Sisters, The Uncle Banga, and Cherry Orchard, inspired many film adaptations for his creativity. And some more writers like Nayanthara Sahgal, Anita Desai, Shashi Deshpande, Markandeya, Maheshweta Devi have created women as a main character in their novels. The central theme of women writers is women's search for identity. These creative writers created characters to describe an emotional and spiritual part of women's personality. Anita Desai, her childhood days serve as a major theme in her novels. Her creative writing style is often poetic and descriptive, revolving around fiction and fantasy, and the use of symbols and flashbacks. Many of her novels explore the state of mind class women and the tensions that exist in these families. Jhumpa Lahiri merged her creativity with the themes like the Indian immigrant experience, family tradition and ritual, independence, rebellion and growing up, identity and naming, and finally love and marriage. Bharti Mukherjee, as an established diasporic writer who has placed herself among the mainstream American writers. She's a writer of Indian origin who presents Indians as a protagonist in her fiction. Bharti Mukherjee explores her creativity with the theme of expatriation, immigration, and transformation. Arun Joshi's creativity deals with various fictional themes as alienation and involvement, East-West encounter and compromise, existentialism and materialism, and quest and complacence in his novels. He delineates the spiritual agony of his lonely questers. Amitabh Ghosh, creativity writing deals in an epic theme of travel and diaspora, history and memory, political struggle and communal violence, love and loss, while all the time crossing the generic boundaries between anthropology and art. His Glass Palace novel is set in Burma, Bengal, India, and Malaya, spans a century from the Third Anglo-Burmese War and in the consequent fall of Khon Boang dynasty in Mandalay through the Second World War to late 20th century. Now let's see the techniques used in creative writing. So far we have seen the writers being a creative writer, what are all the themes that they have applied in their creative their themes is what I use for the creativity. And now let's see the creative techniques, what that is very important or to be included in our creative writing. So we write either a short story or a novel. These are the techniques we need to apply in our creative writing, like a character development, a plot development, or vivid setting, an underlying theme, and from whose point of view it's being said. They are very, very important. Now let's see what is character development and how to develop a character, right? So almost the emotional status of character development are like anxiety, optimism, pessimism, melancholy, anger, joy, and determination. Almost all the fictions or any kind of story under such character development. So from this stage to developing to another next stage, there is an application of techniques like they call it as Bildungsroman or Künstlerroman. So what do you mean by Bildungsroman? There are Bildungsroman novels. Let's know what do you mean by Bildungsromans. Bildungsroman, a class of a novel that depicts and explores the manner in which the protagonist develops morally and psychologically. The German word Bildungsroman means novel of education or novel of formation. This Künstlerroman, which means artist's novel, in English is a narrative about an artist's growth to maturity. It could be classified as a subcategory of Bildungsroman. The next is plot development. Plot development is nothing but exposition, a rising action, a climax. Any form of a play or a short story or a novel will be having an introduction. The beginning of the story, the introduction of a character, introduction of an incident, the background and setting, it has to be revealed the initial part in the introduction part of a story. That is called exposition or introduction. So the next part, how it has to make a move is rising action. That is events in the story, how it takes place next to introduction. So events in the story becomes complicated. Such complication leads to conflict, and how the conflict is settled, revealed, finally how it comes to a settlement. So that is a climax. The third one is climax. That is turning point of a story, giving a twist in the story. So we could see almost Shakespeare's all play come under this category, and Girish Karnad's James Joyce, Anita Desai's writing centralized, they all centralize plot development. They follow this plot development very seriously in their presentation, in their creativity. So the next is vivid setting. So what is vivid setting? Vivid setting is nothing but it makes your fiction more believable. It can also build the mood of your story, creating mystery, suspense, and even conflict. You could see Dickens' Oliver Twist creates a journey into the bustling heart of 19th century London. He takes back to the 19th century of London. And a vivid scene includes more than a visual sense of setting alone. That is, when a reader happens to read a fiction or a short story or a poetry, whatever it may be, the reader must be able to visualize the real picture, how the words has been replaced by the author. The word has to visualize the reader. So that is vivid scene includes. That is that sort of vivid scene is very, very important in creative writing, and it has to be incorporated in creative writing. That's very, very important. Otherwise, the words become lifeless. It's very, very deadly. It won't be interesting, and it won't lead us to continue reading. So that's very important. Vivid setting is very, very important when describing a place and a fiction, narrating about a person, about the sound, about the smell, and other sense details. It has to distinguish from other writers. And Dickens describing the industrial city of Hopetown make us to feel as if we live there in England. So when you happen to see Bahubali film, also all of us for 3 hours, all of us taken back to the historical setting, historical feel of king and queens, and how it had happened, how the kings and queens have power and how they are dominating. Such feel they have brought out in that film when we happen to see. So that feel is called the vivid setting in the audience or among the readers. So the vivid setting is very, very important. So the next is underlying theme. Underlying theme is invisible theme or a visible theme which the reader alone can sense it, what sort of theme has been handled by the author. In general, any creative work primarily concerned with accounting for the political, aesthetic, economical, historical, and social impact of any literature. The most reflected and underlying themes at present what we see are cultural dominance, feminism, diasporic racism, quest for identity, inequality, appropriation. I would like to quote an example from Ralph Ellison's Invisible Man. This Invisible Man is a groundbreaking novel in the expression of identity for the African American male. The narrator of the novel, a man who is never named but believes he is invisible to others socially, tells the story of his move from the South to college and then to New York City. In each location, he faces extreme adversity and discrimination, falling into and out of work, relationships, and questionable social movements in a wayward and ethereal mindset. The novel is renowned for its surreal and experimental style of writing that explores the symbolism surrounding African American identity and culture. This novel won the US National Book Award for Fiction in 1953. In post-colonial literature, the underlying themes are colonial languages, meta-narrative, colonialism, colonial discourse, rewriting history, decolonization struggles, nationhood, nationalism, valorization of cultural identity are very, very prominent in post-colonial literature. The main proponents of the post-colonial theory are Chinua Achebe, Homi Bhabha, Edward Said, Salman Rushdie, Ole Soyinka, and Gayatri Spivak. Their very contemporary creative work distinguishes with such underlying themes in their writings. Now, let's move on to types of writing style. The types of writing style for any creative writer are narrative, descriptive, persuasive, and expositive. So the narrative writing uses common elements like a plot, character, setting, conflict, emotion, and a message. So the forms are novels and short stories, memoirs, creative essays, feature stories, presentation, and speeches. So we have come across all novel, memoir, creative essay, presentation, speeches. But what is a feature story? Feature story is nothing but you just go to any newspaper, Saturday, Sunday, especially Saturday, Sunday issue, the feature writing written by very prominent writers, which talks about one particular issue in detail, the thorough study of one particular issue. For example, let's talk about the assassination of Rajiv Gandhi. So the ground study, the background study, why, what, when, how. The thorough study one has to make, either a journalist or a creative writer who does this work has to make a thorough study of one such feature, then presenting in a paper. That's writing skill. It's very important. How he presents, that's very important. It gets along with so many underlying themes, ideas. So a person who writes feature story, he has to be very, very cautious. So it's very important in creative writing, the feature story. So it comes under in the narrative writing part. The next is descriptive. Descriptive, which involves describing a place, person, scene, and also painting a picture with words. And the forms are poem or song lyrics, fiction or short stories, travelogue, narrative, non-fiction, and memoirs. And the third one is persuasive writing, actually to convince the reader of a viewpoint or idea. Persuasive is nothing but anyone who writes a persuasive creative writing, he or she has to concentrate on, he needs to convince the reader. That's very important. So how one can convince? Evidences from statistics. For example, let's talk about corona, how we are affected. In the initial stage, in the first phase, no one came forward to have vaccination. But in the second wave, we see that many people lost their lives. And the evidences why they have lost their lives, that has been shown as a form of statistics, and the complete details, the reasons, it convinced all of us. And when in the second wave, when people started suffering of corona, there was a rush to the primary health center and to the GH in getting vaccination. So this is a persuasive writing in the newspaper. We read and we saw the evidences in the media. So it comes under persuasive. And any business writing also, it comes under persuasive writing, like a sales writing, covering letter, and letters of recommendation. The next is expository. Expository focuses on who, what, why, when, how questions, because the reader poses such questions on all WH. So whoever the creative writer focuses on expository should concentrate on answering to all WH and how. And the creative writer should avoid jargons, emotions, and opinions. So it should be a very factual statement, no personal opinion. Let it be like a scientific reports or investigation reports or factual statements. It comes under expository writing. So no personal feel or opinion to be shared in expository writing. So the tips for creative writers, we have come to an end of the session. Let's have a tips for the creative writers. Creative writers, you need to read a lot, and we need to read a lot, because while keep reading, it strengthens our vocabulary, our fluency. It gives a very comprehensive views, develops sound knowledge on that particular language, either a mother tongue or a foreign language. So whichever you read, so whatever the book you, it gives a very comprehensive sound round knowledge of the particular language. And creative writing, you need to keep writing. The writing skill is a very, very important skill compared with all other skills, because writing skill needs a lot of error-free presentation. Okay, speaking skill, no problem. When you communicate, when you are able to reach the other side, so you're a very successful communicator. When it comes to our writing skill, we have to be very, very cautious. We need to write error-free. That's very important. And here, the point of view, from whose point of view we write, that's very important. So whose point of view is the first person narrative, second person narrative, and third person we have. Let me talk about the narration types of point of view. And here first person point of view is, in first person point of view, one of the characters is narrating the story. This is generally revealed by I, sentence construction, and relies on the first person pronoun. In the second person point of view is you, pronoun, and writing in the second person for any great length is a challenge and will stretch your writing skill. And in the third person point of view, the author is narrating a story about the characters and refers to them with the third person pronouns he or she. This point of view is subdivided into third person omniscient and third person limited. So what is the difference between third person omniscient and third person limited? Omniscient narrator knows everything about the story and its characters. This third person narrator can enter anyone's mind, move freely through time, and give the reader their own opinions and observations as well as those of the characters. But in third person limited point of view, often called a close third, is when an author sticks closely to one character but remains in third person. This style gives you the ability to be inside a character's thoughts, feelings, and sensations, which can give readers a deeper experience of character and scene. Ernest Hemingway is known for his use of very direct style of third-person narration. And Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway also describes exactly one day in the life of a British socialite named Clarissa Dalloway. Using a combination of third-person narration and the thoughts of various characters, the novel uses a stream of consciousness style all the way through. The result of this style is deeply personal and revealing look into the characters' minds, with the novel relying heavily on characters rather than plot to tell its story. The thoughts of the character include constant regrets and thought of the past, their struggles with mental illness and post-traumatic stress from World War I, and the effect of social pressures. The novel's unique style, subject, and time setting make it one of the most respected and regarded authors of all time. So this Virginia was Mrs. Dalloway is a very prominent example for the point of view. Next is using literary devices. As we come across literary devices, that is of poetry, we saw the different genres of poetry, fiction, play. So those are the literary devices the creative writer should have or aware of or much familiar with how to apply such devices in your creative writing. The theme is very, very important in applying in your creative writing. And know your audience. To whom are you writing? That's very important. To the student, to a doctor, to your friend, like a similar wavelength of like a teacher. So to write, you please know your audience. That's very important. And start writing. Once you start writing, keep on writing. Do not stop, because once you start writing, there you start committing errors. Errors are the basic thing where we need to start. So only from errors we start correcting ourselves, how to proceed, how to progress ourselves, how to promote ourselves. So from the errors we keep learning, and the errors will strengthen our writing skill, especially our creating skill, especially. So embrace rewriting. So writing, rewriting, and finally embrace rewriting. So the benefits of creative writing. So once you become a creative writer, started writing, it improves your self-expression, it strengthens the communication, it leads to fair job opportunity, it boosts thinking skills, it fosters empathy, it keeps engaged mentally. Finally, creative thinking skills like lateral thinking, visual reading, out of the box thinking, artistic creativity, problem solving, analytical mind, and divergent thinking formulate and set groundwork for creative writing. Creative writing is therefore writing imaginatively, creatively, productively, and originally. Thank you so much for the management and my friends for giving me an opportunity to share my views and opinions with reference to the topic creative writing. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Really very nice presentation, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Very studious and in detail course on writing, creative writing you have given to us. We are really very thankful to you for this beautiful presentation. In your presentation, ma'am, made the ideas clear by defining the concept of creative writing, and also given all details on different genres of writing, particularly which are useful for those who are trying their hands in the field of creative writing. For beginners also, and for everyone, your present Thank you very much, ma'am, for this very beautiful presentation. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Dear friends, we have been listening to Dr. Sharma sir and Dr. Maya ma'am for last 2 hours, and we are sure that these last 2 hours will definitely prove helpful in future also for all of the participants. So thank you again, both the resource persons. I request the chairperson of this webinar, our Honorable Principal, Dr. Prashant Kothe sir, for his presidential address.
Thank you,
Dr.
Chinchole.
Prashant Kothe sir.
Thank you, Chinchole sir. Good afternoon, all dignitaries and dear delegates. I pay my humble homage to Rashtramata Jijau Mahasaheb, Chhatrapati Shivarai, late Dr. Punjabrao Deshmukh, founder president of Sri Shivaji Education Society, Amravati. Today, we are able to organize this webinar under the protest and kind support of Honorable Sri Harshavardhanji Deshmukh Sahib, President of Sri Shivaji Education Society, Amravati, and all respected members of Executive Council, Sri Shivaji Education Society, Amravati. As the head of institute, I welcome respected Sri Hemanji Kaimeng Sahib, member of Executive Council, Sri Shivaji Education Society, Amravati, Principal Dr. Bayasaheb Gawande, Management Council member, Sant Gadge Baba, Amravati University, Amravati, Dr. Avinash Moril, Dean, Faculty of Humanities, Sant Gadge Baba, Amravati University, Amravati, Dr. Chaube, Chairman, BOS, English, Sant Gadge Baba, Amravati University, Amravati, Dr. A.L. Kulat, Senate member, Sant Gadge Baba, Amravati University, Amravati. Our today's guest, Dr. Sanjay Prasad Sharma sir, from Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh. Dr. Sumti Maya Madam, Dindigul, Tamil Nadu, and all delegates from different countries and different states of India. A warm welcome to you all. We are very happy today to host this great event, being participated by more than 500 participants from India and abroad. Now, there's the modern technology and social media are giving us very wide scope for creativity. The knowledgeable lectures of both the speakers will be helpful for all young writers. So we are equally grateful to our resource person, Dr. Sanjay Prasad Sharma sir and Dr. Sumti Maya madam for their very knowledgeable and beautiful speeches today. We are also really very much grateful to our patrons for their support and cooperation. This success is a result of teamwork and support. So I congratulate our organizing team and look forward for more such successful event in future too. Once again, thank you to all. Have a healthy and cheerful day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Really, we are looking, after this webinar, we are looking forward to organize more such events. And no doubt, Dr. Sumati ma'am and Dr. Sanjay sir will be helping us and guiding us again. Because just I had look at chat box, and many participants are requesting more such sessions from both of you. Ma'am, there is a request from some participants that they want some pictures or at least some slides in which you have explained certain critical things about creative writing, and you have explained about the classic writers as examples. So please, we request you to share those with us on WhatsApp if you can. That will help the young aspirants. Thank you again. Here I invite my friend Mr. Abhijit Wadalkar to propose the formal vote of thanks for this webinar. Abhijit sir, please unmute yourself. Before that, I would like to request all the participants to please give us your valuable feedback on the given links. The links will be provided in the chat box also and on WhatsApp group also. So we are waiting for your valuable feedback on this event. Abhijit sir.
Thank you, sir. So I hope everybody has enjoyed the webinar organized by Jijamata Mahavidyalaya under the aegis of Shri Shivaji Society, Amravati, Maharashtra. Very good and insightful afternoon to all distinguished participants. This we can still feel the vibe issued forth by our guest in atmosphere, by our most learned and compassionate guest, Dr. Sanjay Sharma sir and Dr. K.M. Sumati ma'am. I feel privileged to unburden the honors of giving expression to the feelings in form of words come vote of thanks on behalf of my all members of college and its mother institute, Sri Shivaji Education Society. I would like to discharge the duty of vote of thanks. It said, whatever fruit we taste and enjoy, it's not the tree that gives it to us, but it's the person who sows it. When the concept of webinar on creative writing started germinating in the mind of Dr. Professor Bharat Jadhav sir, he instantaneously disclosed it to its colleague, Professor Subodh sir. The idea was issued warm welcome. It is the captain who ensures the destination of voyage of the ship. When the idea was discussed with Captain Principal Dr. Kote sir, Jijamata Mahavidyalaya, Buldhana, Maharashtra, and brought to his home without any exchange of words, our respected principal gives not only consent but constant help and guidance with his unfailing foresight. The blessing and guidance of veteran people on this work like magic wand. And we have been experiencing it under the aegis of our president, Honorable Shri Harshavardhanji Deshmukh Sahib and respected Principal Dr. Kote Sahib. Thank you very much, sir, for your cordial support. Some dates are never to be paid back fully as the residuals remind us of their lender's favor. We want to be in the date of Honorable Hemanji Karmik Sahib, the member of Executive Council of Shri Shivaji Education Society, Amravati, Maharashtra. The most venerable and revered personality, Honorable Hemanji inaugurated this national webinar on creative writing and by his introductory address, filled the atmosphere with effervescent enthusiasm, spontaneity, and everlasting energy. We show heartfelt gratitude towards him. Thank you, Honorable Hemanji. It is spring that showers blossom over budding flowers and plants and trees. How obliged we are today cannot be displayed in any emoji. Our most learned and distinguished guests, Dr. K.M. Sumati ma'am and Dr. Sanjay Prasad Sharma, have brought spring to add flower the budding talents. The webinar could have been an unreachable destination if they had not been at the helm. Dr. Sharma sir, who has many irons in the fire at one time, he has been honoring various responsibilities in government of Uttar Pradesh, really stole few moments to spend with us. It has made us humble before him. Dr. K.M. Sumati ma'am, the woman of great vision and pure heart, a personality with busy schedule, could be our guest was a great dream for us. But the way she responded to our request is beyond description in words. Being so busy, you still, ma'am, being so busy, you still spared some precious moments for us and left us in immense debt of love and respect never to come out. I feel very proud to say that our guests have enriched our knowledge with their brainstorming and enlightening ideas and expression. It will certainly lighten the spark for creative writing in interested and creative minds. Thank you, respected ma'am and honorable sir. The vehicle that is always run by the wheels. Without wheels, the vehicle is impossible to run on the road. So the people like me are wheels. Our co-convener, Professor Dr. Shriram Erankar, Dr. Vikas Pahurkar sir. So I feel much gratitude towards them. Our motivators, respected Baba Sahib Bhonde, Dr. Vasantrao Chinsole, Professor Jagdev Bhaikar. They are our guide and our supporter. So thanks. Advisory committee members, Principal Dr. Nilesh Rao Gavande, Member Management Council, SGBU, Amravati, Maharashtra. So we are very thankful to him. Principal Dr. Avinash Moril, Dean, Faculty of Humanities, SGBU. SGBU means Sant Gadge Baba University, Amravati, Maharashtra. We are very thankful to him. Principal Dr. Vashisht Chaube sir, Dr. Kulat sir, Chairman of BUS SGBAU, Principal Dr. Kulat, Principal Dr. Kiran Khandare sir. We are very thankful to these all personalities. Professor Jitendra Davande from Madhya Pradesh, Dr. Arun Sarkar from Assam, Dr. Vijayan Sharma from Shillong, and Dr. Khalil Ansari from MS. We are, our committee and our college, our institute is very much grateful toward this all personality because they have supported us from the inception of this concept. We are very thankful. We express our indebtedness towards organizing committee members. Those are Professor Dr. S.S. Shukla sir, Mr. Avinash Meherkar sir, Mr. Praveen Shimbre sir, Mr. Pramod Katkar sir, Mr. Arun Rinde sir, Ms. Vaishali Chauhan, Dr. Ajinkya Patil sir, Dr. Imtiaz Dukkalkar sir, Mr. Shashikant Singh Sirsat sir, Mr. Vaibhav Wagmare sir, Mr. Rahul Ingre sir, and Ms. Nikita Rathod sir. So I hope that everybody has enjoyed the webinar organized by this college, and thanks for your immense participation and your immense love showered upon us. Thank you very much.
Once again, thank you all. Thank you, respected guests. We take your leave here, and with a hope to meet you very soon again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
अक्षर समझना नहीं